Civilization Beyond Earth takes the classic strategy game to new places, namely space. It improves upon so many things about the franchise, and yet loses so much of what made the games enjoyable to play in the first place. Beyond Earth follows the same general gameplay as its predecessors. Build cities, acquire resources, train armies, and defeat your enemies through politics or force. Its interface and graphics engine is borrowed from Civilization 5, with its own updates to not feel like a direct copy. The biggest change in Beyond Earth is that you don't play as a civilization per se. You play as pioneers backed by a corporation, with that corporation representing your civilization as a whole. Rather than each sponsor have a set of different bonuses, units, or advantages, you choose your own every time. The ability to create your own civilization every time is great. It helps you fine-tune your civ until you have one that plays the way you want it to play. And you're able to freely change it up whatever way you want every time you play, giving you a lot of options and a lot of replayability. However, the downside to this is that none of the civilizations are unique or memorable. None of them have unique units, technologies, or other bonuses. It also means when facing them, you don't entirely know what to expect. Even their diplomatic representatives blend together. Rather than being personality-driven leaders, they all look and act the same. There were numerous times when another civ got angry at me or offered a deal, and I immediately forgot who it was I was talking to. If there is one word I can use to describe Beyond Earth, it's options. You have so many options for everything. In addition to the starting bonuses you can pick that I mentioned, you get several more choices every time you play. The new affinity system is the biggest addition. As you perform tasks and complete research, you gain affinity points towards one of three, each representing a different ideal. The affinities net you additional passive abilities, new units to build, and by the end, a new way to win. It gives you constant direction in the game, so you have some idea of what to work towards. Your affinity points also direct your military unit upgrades for you, letting you choose one of two bonuses down the 3 different paths. It's a very cool system, and I would love to see this kept for future Civilization games. Another new system is the quest system. These give minor objectives that you can do for immediate bonuses, like extra science, currency, or affinity points. They're good for giving you short-term goals, which helps remove the feeling of being directionless from previous games. They also give you more customization options by allowing you to pick different bonuses for various buildings shortly after you build them. Once again, this means you can pick the things you need or work towards a specific playstyle. The research system has also been overhauled. Rather than branching paths, it uses a web system. It gives you more than one path to reach a certain technology tree without requiring a bunch of other research before it. And every main technology has a couple of minor research options underneath it. There is so much extra stuff to research in this game. It forces you to balance from heading towards major technologies or to bolster ones that you already have that others may have skipped over. Spies and covert operations are also greatly enhanced. You still place spies into enemy cities or into your own for defense, but now you have control over what the spy does. There is a list of operations they can perform, ranging from gathering information, stealing resources or technologies, or very powerful operations depending on your affinity. Spies and covert operations are far more effective than ever before. I was able to take down and absorb an entire enemy civilization purely through espionage. It was awesome. Again, along with everything else, this gives you options upon options. Diplomacy is still pretty much the same though. Open borders, trading, alliances, etc. The interface is improved in that it gives you clues as to how different corporations feel towards you. For example, it lets you know that they're upset because you're taking artifacts in their area, or are too friendly to their enemies. It's a nice touch that makes playing against computers a bit more intuitive. Another change is that barbarians don't exist anymore. Instead, you have aliens. And they are everywhere, along with poisonous miasma on tiles that damage you every turn while healing aliens. The concept of aliens and miasma I don't mind at all. It's the sheer number of them at any given time that's obnoxious. Killing them isn't always the best option as it resides on your affinity choice, and they're tougher than they look. They constantly feel out of control, and along with the amount of poisonous miasma around, they make it difficult to expand your colonies at any given time. I don't hate them conceptually, I just think they're a bit overbearing. Also, even though there are numerous map types to choose from, it's kind of a bummer that every planet is the same aesthetically. A little bit of visual variance would have done wonders, adjusting the plant life style, or even if the aliens were just swapped out for different looking ones. The game doesn't feel very spacey because of it. Like in every game, you're landing on the same planet but with different land masses. The amount of new options available to you makes this game fun to play every time. The starting bonuses, the affinities, the unit upgrades, the numerous new tile improvements, the quests, so on, all of that is great. But this game just doesn't have the same kind of charm as the older Civilization games. The lack of personality in the leaders is the biggest thing, and the fact that the corporations have no real distinction to them because they're changed upon every new game. Still, this is a very well-polished strategy game. Civilization Beyond Earth earns an 8 out of 10. It's still a Civ game, so it'll still sap hours and hours of your life away. In a single match,